YouTube viewers, Rectangular back with another haul video. Now, as you can see here, these are not Marvel Legends, these are trash figures from the dollar store, and only reason I picked them up was for their swords. I was talking to my friend EsThirteen, and he noticed in my previous haul video that I got that loose Series 6 Deadpool and needed swords for him. We talked about different casting options, and he mentioned these swords work really well because of the length of the handles are much better than the swords that Deadpool comes with, because those are just long enough for his hand to grip them. They just barely fit in his hand. That these handles are significantly longer, so they work much better, and they're supposed to fit in his scabbard. So I'm going to take them out of the package and give that a test. Let's check it out. So here we go. He's holding them quite nicely, and they fit perfectly into his scabbard. The swords came with a little bit of extra plastic, which I trimmed off, and this one, it must have just a tiny bit left on. It's in there real firm. This one's a little loose, so see, actually it fits in there. It's in there perfectly. Not gonna fall out. So really like, I mean, damn, $2, cannot beat that with a stick. So very happy. I just need to paint. I'm gonna keep the black ones as spares and just paint the handles on the silver ones, so I don't have to worry about the paint scraping off the blades, just the handles. I think his handles are, I want to say they're brown, so yeah, I just have to paint those and he'll be good to go. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the next items. So recently I was at my local craft store called Michael's, and every month they have a sale at the end of the month, and just happened to be walking through. I actually like to go and look at what miniatures they have, and walked past their little woodwork section and noticed this furniture here. They had a whole box of it for $25. About the only thing that was not included in what I picked up here, I think there was a bed, and there was a bed and a table and chair set, which the table and chairs looked a little small. So all this stuff happened to be on clearance, and they actually had this table and chair set separate. They didn't have the bed separate, but even adding all that stuff together, it didn't seem like that good of a deal to get the box of for $25. So I looked at the back of these guys, and they were on clearance for $2. This is $2, and this one is $2. This one is 50 cents. This one is $2, and this one is $1.75. And then with my discount, or for the sale, I got 20% off all this stuff, and about a bunch of fabric to use for backgrounds. And so with the discount, all this stuff was less than $8, so I was very happy. If you go on Amazon, even just one piece with shipping, or on eBay, sorry, it's probably going to cost you like $8 just for one item with shipping. So yeah, it was a really good deal for all this stuff. Haven't decided if I'm going to stain it or paint it or just leave it unfinished. Have to look and see how it looks compared to the other furniture I have. I have that black leather sofa set that I got from Hobby Lobby, and some other furniture items I can't even think of at the moment. But stuff is really well constructed. All the doors open and close, and it's pretty thick wood. It's not like cheap balsa wood. It's really well constructed. Should last quite a long time. So very happy. It's not like dollar store furniture that's barely made out of balsa wood, and it feels like it's gonna crumble on you at any second. So very, very cool. Happy with that pickup. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the next items. Here we have the Megator figure from Masters of the Universe Classics, and I do not collect this product line, but after seeing how big these figures were and how affordable they are, I decided they would make great Frost Giants. I only have 2 Marvel Universe Frost Giants, and this guy is pretty much the same size as the Frost Giants, so basically just need to paint him blue, and I think it'll work out really well. One of the great things about this figure is that it comes with an alternate head, so that you can have this regular head sculpt and a alternate head, which I'll show the figure out of the package here in a second. Big thanks to my friend EsThirteen, who picked up a couple of these for me, and then picked up 3 more for friends in the community. I know that Shane Miller was looking for some of these, so I had EsThirteen pick up 2 for him, and then Rick Dominguez was looking for an additional one. I think he already had 2 and he wanted a 3rd one, so EsThirteen picked up that 3rd one, and I have 1 loose, which I'll show here in a second, and I got 2 more from Amazon before EsThirteen had found his at Big Lots. The ones on Amazon I had already purchased or placed the order for the day before, not knowing that he was going to find them in the store. So I paid more than I wanted to, but I think down the road I'm just going to hold on to them and try to sell them when they're harder to find at cost, so I can at least break even. Or if people really like the customs that I make, I'll probably just end up using the ones I got off Amazon as customs and sell them that way. So let me show you guys what they look like out of the package. Oh, one more thing before I show the figure out of the package. I noticed that the 2 that came from Amazon had this printed on the box. You can see that it says the original, and it's not a sticker, it's actually part of the printing on the box itself. And over here you don't see that on the ones that came from Big Lots. So I thought that was pretty different. If I don't think there's anything different about the figures, just the packaging is slightly different on the ones that came from Big Lots compared to the one that came on Amazon. So I don't know if the seller got them from Matty Collector and that's my guess, is that the ones that came from Matty Collector say the original on there, and then all these that came from Big Lots seem to be missing that on the packaging. So just something different that I noticed. Alright, let's go ahead and show the figure out of the package. So here we have the Megator figure out of the package next to the Marvel Universe Frost Giant, and as you can see, they're very similar in size, both in height and width, and pretty similar as far as the sculpt goes. They both have the cloth, loin cloth there on the groin, and they both have the armor on the chest and on the wrist, bracelets or gauntlets, whatever you want to call them. Both bare feet. I have decided if I'm going to try to sculpt some bands on the lower legs of the Megator so that they look just like the Frost Giant. But otherwise, I really like the scale. It turned out really well. And let's see. The Megator has a pretty good amount of paint shading on him. It's a pretty decent figure. The only thing it really suffers from is lack of articulation. I think it only has 12 points of articulation. It's got single jointed knees, just a single point of articulation at the thigh. What's that? They're not ball joints. What are they? I can't remember what they're called, but just a single back and forth joint there. The wrists rotate, single jointed elbows. The arms don't really go in and out that much, to just go around, and the head is on a bit of a ball joint, so it can rotate a little bit, it can look down a little bit, but it can't really look up because of his hair. Speaking of his head, oh, and then he's got the waist joint. This is the spare head that he comes with, which is very nice. It's got this almost like zombie appearance to him, and very realistic looking hair, which is pretty creepy. It's like soft to the touch. It's kind of like a Barbie hair. He looks like Thor hit him pretty hard with a hammer. And I like the mace or flail, ball and chain that he comes with. Fits in his hand really well. So the main advantage of the Megator is I think they use something called rotocasting, where it makes the figure hollow, so he's pretty light, especially in comparison to the Frost Giant, which is good. The Frost Giant suffers being so heavy that the knees tend to warp, and he has a really hard time standing up. This one, I have two of them, and this one is the better standing at the moment. The other one, it's been standing pretty well for a while, and the knee is starting to warp. This one I had to stuff a twist tie into his knee socket to kind of lock it into position, because it was warped pretty bad when I got him. So I'm hoping I can fix the other one pretty well, but it's a great figure, you know, much better articulation, but it really suffers in the knees. It's just so heavy that his knee joints and even the ankles can't really support his weight all that well. So if you have one, I highly recommend storing them laying down, just because eventually they will start to warp. One more quick size comparison. Here is the Megator next to the Return of Marvel Legends Thor. So pretty damn good size. So if you can grab one of these at Big Lots, I highly recommend it. You know, even if you're not gonna customize them yourself, it's still a pretty damn good figure that I think is generic looking enough that you can use for a variety of different things. So glad I grabbed them when I could. Alright, now let's go ahead and move on to the next items. Next up, we have a complete Rocket Raccoon Build-A-Figure. I snagged this guy off of eBay. I think he was just over $28 shipped, which is not bad. I wanted to stay under 30. At the time, there was a buy it now for 32 bucks. So it seemed like a pretty good deal, and then I think I saw one for just about 28, so I think that's probably what he goes for now. I needed a second one. Wanted him to have two weapons. I know in the comic, I'm pretty sure in the comic he's got two weapons, but they're not the same size. One is more of a pistol, so I may end up looking for a different weapon, like a Star Wars gun or something, to use for his second weapon. But I mostly wanted to have one to customize. I want to be able to modify the legs so that you can get him into a crouching position. So gonna have to try to figure out the best way to do that. I have some parts coming that might work, but it's going to be kind of experimentation. So anyway, hopefully that will work out, and I'll show that off in a later video. Alright, let's move on to the last item. Finally this week we have the Marvel Legends Juggernaut. Now, about a year ago, when the Marvel Select Juggernaut was coming out, or had just come out, I was trying to decide on which one to get. The Select, which has got really nice sculpt on it, but not as articulated, or to go with this Legends version, which is decent, but his arms are a little bit too long, and he's got this really weird waist joint, but much better articulation than a Select, like in most cases. So after watching Shortimus Prime's review of this figure, I decided to pass, and I got the Select, and have been pretty happy with that. You can get him in a fairly decent charging pose, but I think the more I do ACBA, the more I realize you really need well articulated figures, and for static poses the Select works great, but it doesn't have a removable helmet, and there's only so much you can do with the articulation on that one. So went ahead and decided to go ahead and grab this guy, since I have the Thunderbolts now. Decided that well, not only that, but he also fights some of my favorite Avengers, or Wolverine also, I believe. So yeah, I just needed something I could do a little bit more with, and got this guy off of eBay. I think I paid 20, gosh, I want to say 27 and change, I think, with shipping. So not bad. I was hoping I wanted to get him for less than 30. It's probably more like, I think it was probably close to 28 with shipping, but yeah, it's in fairly decent condition. The helmet is removable, which is very nice, and joints are pretty stiff for the most part. I think his hip joints are a little bit on the loose side, and the waist joint is a little bit loose, but not bad. He doesn't, completely spin around most of the time when you angle him backwards. If he was really loose, he would just completely spin on me, so not too bad. At least he can hold his arms up without them falling down. He's just pretty dusty. I haven't washed him off yet. Paint looks pretty decent. So I put him next to the, this is what we're talking about. This is a really weird waist joint. I don't think it would have been that bad if they had just made it go forward and backwards, but the fact that it goes side to side, it just looks really weird when he does that. Obviously they can't, well, I guess they could have given him an ab crunch. That would have been ideal, especially for getting him in a charging pose. Also, the only other major complaint is that he can't really look up all that well, although when he's charging, he's going to have his helmet on anyway, so you're not going to see his head under there. So yeah, he does have, let's see, one articulated. He's got his index fingers articulated there, and the thumb is articulated. I guess it's the same on both hands, and then all the other three fingers are on their own joint. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with him. I don't know that, maybe I think probably the hip joints are probably the part I'm gonna have to tighten up the most. So anyway, let's get him over here and show him next to the, and get him standing up straight. I can show a true size comparison with the Select version. And this guy's just massive, and he just weighs a ton. I'll move them back so they can get them both in the frame. Yeah, that is a monster of a figure. I'm surprised that I was able to get, I think I paid about $21 with shipping for this guy, and which was kind of surprising because he's so damn heavy. I figured they wouldn't be able to charge so little for shipping, because he's got to be up probably about 3 pounds. So anyway, yeah, I'm pretty happy. I like the fact that I have both figures, so multiple possibilities for either static poses or ACBA. Alright, well, hopefully you guys liked the video. You share with your friends. Don't forget to hit like. And if you haven't already subscribed, I hope that you will. And I always love hearing back from you guys, so please leave a comment below. Alright, talk to you guys later. Bye.